MapleStory has seen many items come and go over the course of time. Think about panlets, work loaves. There are a lot of items that completely lost their value or their use. And in today's video we're going to take a look at those old items and what they used to mean to people. So I'm gonna show you some footage from my own account and some footage that I found on the internet. So one of the first things that I saw was I logged into my old Aran. Like, this is like when Aran first was released, I made this guy. And he's pretty old, right? So he still has like the Valentine flowers. These were like pole arms in the shape of a flower that you could actually use. And they're pretty good for the time. Like, they looked awesome, and they're all pole arms for some reason. There's red, there's yellow, there's different types of flowers that you could have, basically. But this guy also has a lot of other things on his account, like these freaking belts. He has a surfboard and snowboard, which were also like super popular back in the day. These are only like from event items. During the winter, snowboards would drop, and during the summer, surfboards would drop. And they were like, everyone would collect them. There were certain types of surfboards that you could get, certain types of snowboard, and they were actually pretty good. And I also had an old Dojo belt. So a long time ago you could get Dojo belts, like permanent ones in the Dojo. You can't get those anymore, but still it's a fun item to have and to look at. Alright, so the next video is a bit lower quality because, well, I ripped it from YouTube. And this is also like 11 years old or something like that. But I couldn't find one on my account anywhere. If you look at the weapon, you look very closely, you can see this guy is using a fish spear. So this is like one of the super popular older weapons, and what it was literally like a big spear with a dead fish on it, and you could smack people with it. That's literally all it was. And it was super awesome. Like, people wanted this thing just to collect it. It looked funny. That's why, basically. It wasn't even good, it just looked funny. So I logged into my my first character that I created on MapleStory Europe, Ergot, and he also still has a Dojo belt. He still has some other old stuff. Like, oh my goodness. He also has the MapleStory Europe bandana, which is like the beta bandana that you could get, similar to the MapleStory Global one, but yeah, they made a special one for Europe because, well, of course, there's special snowflakes over here. And also the first anniversary hat. So MapleStory is a bit younger than MapleStory Global, but still, this is like 9 years ago right now, I think, that the MapleStory bandana was released, and like 8 years ago that the MapleStory first anniversary bandana was released. So yeah, these are also like pretty old items that I just kept them for like nostalgic sakes. So who else remembers doing Monster Carnival PQ and getting the Spiegelman necklace? This is one of the first pendants that you could get early on in the game, and it was like well, not amazing, but like I said, it was one of the first you could get. And yeah, it wasn't that good if you think about it right now. Like, but you could only get this one from Carnival PQ if I remember correctly. So it's a pretty nostalgic item. I'm pretty sure a lot of old Maples collected this one because everyone did Carnival PQ back then. So I hope you like whips, because red whips were like the best thing in MapleStory. So pre-Big Bang, speed, like if you don't notice, speed was actually increased by 20. So 80 speed right now is actually 100 speed back then. So we walked a lot slower. And red whips for the class didn't have teleport or flash jump, because even like third job was not out back then. Red whips would help you because they actually gave you 15 speed, which was amazing back then. I also have a Toymaker cap. And this one also had really bad stats, but it looked super awesome for the time. This is one of the first, like, it almost looks like a black wing hat actually, like a hat that has like goggles on it. And it's amazing. And this one, I'm really proud that I've still kept this one. The pumpkin basket from 2006. This is an 11-year-old item that I still have in my inventory. It also gave you plus 10 speed, and it just looks awesome. And it's like a little pumpkin basket that you're wearing around with candy. And these are actually super ultra rare. I'm pretty sure you can sell those for like 200 billion mesos, and you'll still be like selling it cheap. And on the right of it, there is a talking witch hat. And this witch hat is also from a Halloween event. It's a bit younger though, like it's from an older Halloween event basically. But you could get like random stats on this. You could rescroll it, get a random stats or something like that. And it was like, talking witch hats were like one of the best items if you could like get really good stats. I wanted to talk about like bamboo hats, sauna ropes, work loaves, but basically what I will be talking about then is just like a Dexter's Assassin. So before, all classes needed 2 stats instead of 1, but sometimes you would go super hardcore and you would only go like for luck as an assassin, because then you would do the most damage, right? And what would those people wear? Sauna ropes, bamboo hats, MapleStory Condio, and some snowshoes, and a work glove, of course, and that's it. And the work gloves are always like scrolled with like 11 attack, 10 attack, 8 attack. You could sell those for so much mesos before, like 50 mil. Like before, when the meso cap still was like 2 billion, there was a lot of meso back then, and people would be like, yeah, I can hit like 1k damage level 50, I'm insanely strong. It were different times back then, different times. But bamboo hats, I think you get them from the Kerning PQ. from the first time together PQ, and the Siren Rope you could get from like completing a quest, and the Kandaya was just like they weren't even released until like the first anniversary. So this was like the Dex's assassin outfit that everyone remembers. And this one is also pretty rare. This is a flaming katana. You could only get it from a quest, from completing one quest, and you could choose between a flaming katana and a pink seal cushion, I believe, which was a chair. And it was also the only way you could get a chair or the weapon. The weapon is pretty good. It looks pretty cool, at least. It was like one of the first weapons that had a special effect, but the stats were not that great. They gave a lot of speed as well, which is nice. And I have more maple bandanas and stuff like that on this account. So I logged into my like the video character, and he still has like Renegades coins and Legends coins from like when Phantom was released. This is also good stuff. And I also forgot like a palette. Like before the panlet was like there was panlet was the only thing mages could wear. Then later on in Gashapon they released the palette and some other stuff, and later on like the Acid Shield was released. But even before the palette, you would only have panlets, which was a level 10 shield, and it was basically the only shield you could get as a mage. Good stuff. Now I know there are a lot more items that you guys can probably remember, so feel free to leave comments with all the items that you guys remember or still have in your inventory. It's fun to look and talk about them. Thank you very much for watching. Again, my apologies for not making that many videos anymore. I'm currently busy preparing to move back to the Netherlands, so that's why. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.